So, I want to share with y'all a little bit about my last couple of minutes. So, the older boys come up today, and I cooked a big dinner for Lee. His birthday is tomorrow. And I have just been, cleaning and doing all day. Well, I was exhausted a while ago, so I laid down and took a nap. And when I got up, I said, I need to go ahead and try that cottage cheese bread stuff. So I'm gonna try that real quick, see if I like it. So I have it in the oven, and I was cleaning the stove before I got all the stuff out to make that. And I said, I'm trying to remember what in the world I seen in that video. Did they do it on aluminum foil or parchment paper? And then for some reason, just a small fleeting thought was, well, Lord, can I bake parchment paper? Can that go in the oven? And for some reason, my mind went all the way back to when I was in the hospital after I had just had Dylan. And, I had raised other people's children before. I have, raised my older three, but I'd never had a newborn of my own. That was something new for me. And I remember trying so hard to breastfeed and just could not get the hang of it. Like, I didn't understand what I was doing wrong. And, God love my husband. It's been 10 years since, he's went through this. So he's trying to help me. And I remember I just started crying because I couldn't figure it out. And, I don't know if anybody else's brain works like this, but mine does. So I had a whole scenario in my head, of me and Lee standing in the kitchen and, baby, can I bake parchment paper? And he's like, well, hold on, we'll figure it out together. And it was like the Lord quickened me right then of back when Dylan was small. I'd had some people come to me and, well, when he gets hungry enough, he'll eat. Well, that puts all the pressure on him and none on me. You know what I'm saying? And he's a newborn and I'm an adult. And then my mind went to people that either don't have special needs kids or just, for whatever reason, have a different viewpoint than understanding. And it's, well, you're not whipping him hard enough, or if you whip him right, he'd mind, And the Lord said some people never go any further than that because they're not teachable. The blame or the pressure is always on someone else, and there's a lack of accountability and a lack of self-awareness. And I thought, man, how many people do we have that will never grow in God, or are so haughty and prideful that it's my way and you just got to come up to my standards, instead of, Lord, is there something else that I need to be taught? God, what can I learn? God, even if I don't change my standard or my belief on this, is there something that I could do different? Could my approach be different? And that just resonated with me. Like, I've been lost in conversation with God all day long, even to small things like, God, I feel like some of the people have been jerked away from me in my life, so to speak. And I know that you've done it for a reason, but God, sometimes I miss those people. And even to the things like that, he said, yeah, but what you don't realize is you were stagnant in that circle, and I intend for you to grow. And the only way for me to do that is to prune you. And, I've had all of this rolling around in my mind all day. And if you do not allow God to teach you and mold you and to prune you, then you become haughty and hard-hearted. And what good are you to the kingdom if you're haughty and you're hard-hearted? I mean, if you're not willing to be self-aware every day and say, God, did I act according to your word today? Is there something that I need to work on? In what areas did your character not shine through me? Where did I override you and your spirit and what your word says on how I should act? And I think there's a lot of people that struggle with that. And I don't know, that was a lot to text, and I just figured it's just quicker to do a little video while I'm waiting on my bread to bake. So just be mindful, as you go about your day tomorrow, or as you go to church tomorrow, is there any areas of my life that I'm not self-aware in? Is there any areas that I'm just, by God, this is the way it's got to be, or is there somewhere that you can say, God, is there something in me? Or God, the way that I think about this, is that right? Measure your mindset up to God's word and see how close it falls to it. And if you're way off base on some things, let God prune you, because there's nothing bad that can come of it. It may hurt, because I'm not gonna lie, there's been some pruning in my life that has absolutely crushed me to the core. But I look back now and say, you know what, Jesus, it may have hurt in that time, but I thank you for that, because so much good come of that. And not that you just always have to hurt for God to prune you, but it will crucify your flesh. And if it's flesh that he's killing in you, then why would you not want that in order to be more like him? So those are my thoughts for tonight. I hope y'all have a wonderful day tomorrow at church.